Hello everyone. Have you heard about SEO? I hope if you're watching this video and if you have already seen the thumbnail, this is around technical SEO. Now, SEO can be of various types: on-page SEO, off-page SEO. That is the common thing everyone would have heard of. However, there is a third category of SEO, which is technical SEO, which is very important. Even though if you build up a lot of backlinks, even though if you write high quality content with a lot of keyword research, you do everything for your content. But if it is still not ranking, that means then there is some problem with your website, and it could be related to some technical issue. Now, when I say technical SEO, it's not mainly technical issues. It could be related to some of the basic issues that you might have missed out while creating your website. And this course will help you as a beginner to look into the aspects of technical SEO and how you can fix it easily. I would be sharing a checklist of technical SEO which can help you in finding out those issues and getting it fixed. Now, before I start the video, I hope you know me and you would have checked my channel. And if you are interested in such wonderful contents, then please do like the video and do subscribe as well, as this will help me in creating such wonderful content. So let's start the video with the first and one of the most important aspect of technical SEO, which is page experience. If you have not heard about page experience, Google has launched page experience around 2-3 years back, if I remember it correctly. And it is one of the most important aspect from a technical SEO perspective, where people do miss out from the core web vital. But when I talk about page experience, it's all about core web vital. So if I jump onto the screen, and if you have a search console installed into your website, so if you do not know what is Google Search Console, then you can check the I button. I have already created a full course around Google Search Console, and you can create your website and link it to the Google Search Console, as it is the Bible for all the website owners. Now, within the Google Search Console, on the left hand side, you will see experience, page experience. Now, what this page experience tells is like whether your core web vitals, basically Google checks the website based on mainly 3 parameters from a core web vital perspective, and if they are met, then it will give a color code. Now, for my website, it is saying it needs improvement in mobile and in desktop. Now, what improvement it is requiring? Let's click on them. So for the mobile, let's see what it comes up. So see, now I have created the video and I noticed that from 18th of October till 18th of October, there were no issues. After that, there are all the URLs within my website are requiring some improvements. Now, what those improvements are? That the LCP issue. So basically, there are 3 main issues that will be highlighted. One is LCP. There will be a largest content which should load within 2.5 seconds. Now, to load the content within 2.5 seconds may require some of the aspects of your web hosting as well. It may require the way you have customized the page. But from Search Console, I can see something happened between 18th October until 19th October, which caused this issue. So I know I have updated the theme. I know I have installed few new plugins, and I think that will be the reason. So it's not always about a technology that is an issue. It's about whatever you do in your WordPress website can cause such issues. So the most important thing is to look into your Search Console each week, and whatever you do in your website on a day-to-day basis, make sure you create a note out of it, like a change log. So any developer can understand what a change log is. But if you are new to the website industry, then anything you do in your website should be noted to make sure you can track those issues. Now, from a core web vital perspective, I have defined about LCP. There are 2 more issues that can come in your website. So second one is FID. Now, FID, as you can see, a note has been put in. FID will be replaced by INP. And now what these terminologies are, you can check into this link, which is a web.dev article. You can check what is FID, and you can check the definitions and you can read it out. Now, basically, if you see, there is a visualized diagram created by Google. So whenever a network request, the first interaction with the page, so whenever a request is made, that first interaction should be in less than 100 milliseconds. That is what Google expects. Again, this is related to networking, and this might be related to your web hosting or the CDN, how you have created it. Now it may not be related to your website or how you have customized your website, and it is mostly related to the networking side of the things, and there can be some challenges or there will be some issues related to FID, and I won't say you put a lot of in time to fix this issue. However, you keep monitoring it, and if it is say red, then only think around it. Amber is a good color as well, so it requires an improvement, but it doesn't hurt your search rankings drastically. Okay, so it has an impact, but it won't have that much of an impact where your site might go down. So think around it and make sure you take a decision based on this. This video will help you out in figuring out what the issue is, but I'm not saying that you need to fix it on the same day and it will improve your ranking. But yes, it will contribute to increasing your ranking if your on page and off page SEOs are also good. Third one is CLS. You might have heard about this term or you might have seen. Now you can check your CLS, you can check your FID by going into the page speed test. Okay, so over here I have put in the web page URL and it has said that okay, my FID is 2 milliseconds, my CLS is 0.0 second, my LCP is 2.9 seconds. Now it will give the details around where it is failing. So you can check, okay, initial response time is 0.81 seconds. That is where some things are happening. Accessibility wise, it is good. Best practices, it is following it. And SEO wise, it is 100%. So I know, as I mentioned, I know from an SEO perspective, this is all looking good from a desktop perspective. In the mobile version, if you see again, SEO wise, it is saying 96%. So I know it might impact my SEO. So you need to make sure you can use this pagespeed.web.dev tool for your web pages and check the SEO score mainly. Rest of the scores will be green, or don't make it red. So if it is red, that is a problem. So like performance, it is amber still, it is not red, and it is mainly around the LCP and FIDs, which I know why it is happening, so I can fix it, but I won't say like you have to put a lot of focus around these issues. I'm repeating this quite a number of time, as you might invest a lot of time in fixing it, but it won't hurt your SEO rankings, as your SEO is already 96% or 100% in my case. So that is what the first technical bit you need to be very careful about is core web vitals or the page experience. Now if you want to use the tools which I have mentioned over here, so you can check out my post around technical SEO guide beginner. As you can see on the screen over here, we have written the article, so you can use the link. And another testing tool is web page test, so webpagetest.org. You can put your website URL. So if I try to put in this my technical SEO URL and see what it says, let's see. So it basically tests the URL from different countries, different locations, but it may be that from US point of view your website is slow, but from an India point of view your website is fast. But if you're in UK, your website is fast. So it depends on the server. So that is where CDN comes into the picture. If you don't know CDN, I will be explaining it later in this video, as it is a technical SEO component. So it has given the output, and if you see performance summary, so it requires improvement. That is all mentioned by the Search Console as well. And overall it is giving me LCP. So my LCP is a bit slow, which could be related to my hosting provider, or which could be related to the changes I have made. So I know I have installed some plugins which is causing it. That is the main reason. So if you see, if you try to understand the picture over here, the LCP is, say, where is my page? So it is saying that till 4.11 second the page is not even loading. Okay, so that is what it is saying in mobile devices. So that is how the issue is. So someone who can wait for 4 seconds will view the page, but someone who is impatient, so normally Google says 2.5 second is the maximum time where page should start loading, and if say it is 4.1 seconds, then Google expects that user experience will not be that great. So I hope this point is very clear. I have tried to explain it in with detail. I have shared some of the tools as well, and you would be able to figure it out, your core web vitals part, through Google Search Console and using these tools, and then you can figure it out what has happened to your web page during that time frame. Second most important technical SEO aspect is whether your website is getting crawled or indexed. Now I see a lot of people commenting like, my page is not getting indexed, my page is getting indexed or is in Google but it is not indexed, etc, etc. So there are a lot of errors that they might see in their search console. Now what these errors means from a search console perspective is already present in my video around the Google Search Console. However, from a technical SEO perspective, again in the Search Console, you can go to pages. So you will see indexing. So if you are website owner, you will see not indexed and indexed. So only 160 pages are indexed for my website. But there are reasons where I have already dictated Google to not index my page, because crawling of all the pages is not good from an SEO perspective, from a technical SEO perspective. So you have to limit the crawl budget, and Google will be very happy if you reduce the number of pages which are not of use for the Google. And that is where we have put in some no index, but this won't give you the actual crawl errors. Okay, so 404, all those things are here. Okay, but they are not in depth. So for these, what you can do is you can use a tool called Screaming Frog. I'm not sure if you have heard about it, but this is how Screaming Frog looks like. There is a free version available, so you can check it out, the free version, where this tool can crawl 500 pages. So I have put in my website deepavaliseotips.com. Over here it crawls. Now you will see it gives a lot of details around my website. Okay, this is the key tool from technical SEO perspective. And if you are doing, if you want to go for a job as well, they will ask a question around whether you have a knowledge of Screaming Frog tool. So you make sure you start learning about Screaming Frog, and it gives a lot of data which you can use it to understand your crawl errors. Now what the key points you would like to see from this tool or from crawl errors perspective is your 301 redirects are correct, and your 400 errors and 500 errors you are aware of. So what is it? Basically there is a status code. So if you go into, if you know a bit about the error codes, 200 series is basically okay, means your web pages are getting crawled by Google, and Google knows whether they are indexable or non-indexable. Okay, but in case you get any other errors, like see in the bottom you will see 302, 404, 301. So 301s are should be correctly redirected. So basically whether an say I have created a page, start a blog, which I have redirected it, so they know okay it is redirected. There are certain pages which are not found, so those pages I have to look into it, whether why it is coming as 302. And then there are 404 errors as well. Now I also don't know that these errors were present, but with the use of this tool I came to know while recording this video itself. So yeah, I will start fixing it, or I will make sure that these URLs are redirected correctly. So this is the beauty of this tool. It will give you all the data and you can fix it. Apart from Screaming Frog, you can use Ahref free version as well to get your crawl error emails. So what you can do is you can go to Ahref dashboard, and in Ahref you can create a free account where you have to connect your website's webmaster with Ahref, so that Ahref knows the data, and then Ahref on a weekly basis shares an site audit report. So you go to site audit on the top. So first you need to validate your website. Now if you don't know how to get your website validated, then you do comment on the comment section, that create a full course around how to connect your website with Ahref for free. I'll create a full course, and if you don't know how to use Ahref as well, then also you can comment. And please do like the video if you have watched till here, as it will help me in creating such content. Now if you see in site audit, so I have the site audit. Now if you click on the site audit, so it completes every week. That is what I have said. However, if you see, there are top issues. What's new? timeout. So there are certain pages which are timed out. There are pages from sitemap which are timed out. Top issues are pages not has a link to a broken page. So this is a technical issue. Okay. Now what happens is that if your page has a URL which is a broken means it is not the right page. So you are giving a false information to Google, which will cause your website to derank as well. So you need to make sure you check this report. All the broken links are fixed. Now there are different ways to identify broken links, but it is better to get it identified through Ahref. So this is another way by which you can go and check your site data, and this will give mostly all the technical error related issues in one place. Now third important parameter is fix inbound and outbound links. So how, as I have mentioned, that say in my website I have a issue saying there are pages that have a broken link. Okay, so this can be internal or external. Now if I go to site audit, again in site audit, internal links I know 404 errors are coming in. If you go to external, again in the external link you will see, okay, these are blocked by robot.txt. We will talk around it later. So if you see, Google Tag Manager itself is having a 404 error. So there must be a URL which might be redirecting to Google's Tag Manager, but it's not the right URL and I might have missed it out. So yeah, so these are the errors. So this is the third important aspect which you need to check it out: internal and external links. You can use again Screaming Frog, again you can use the Ahref, and also your Search Console. Now Search Console doesn't give about internal and external errors, link errors. So what you can also do is you can install a plugin called Broken Link. It can automatically check. And internal links as well, you can install a plugin called Link Whisper, which is free, freemium plugin. Paid version is there as well. So we have a paid version and you can install the Link Whisper. If you want to buy Link Whisper, you can use the link present in the description below, and it's an affiliated link, so I will get a bit of a commission. However, its free version is also good to use. Now this internal and external link is required mainly to identify orphan pages, to identify broken links, and to fix your 301 302. Okay, fourth important bit is duplicate content. Okay, now what is duplicate content? It's a big topic. So say you have created a URL around how to start a blog. Okay, so I have created a content around technical SEO beginner. Now I create another page which says about 10 tips which you can be used by to fix your technical SEO for beginners. Now over here as well I have given the tips, or I have given the ways, but I have created another page saying that okay, 10 tips technical SEO for beginners. Same thing I have written again in another page with a very minute difference between both the content. Now this is termed as a duplicate content. Okay, so Google knows you already have a one page. So for example, if I have to give for my website itself, so I'm not sure if you have heard about Google search operator. So if I search Google search operator, this I identified while creating this video itself. Now see, I have written two posts: Google Search Operator, a comprehensive guide; Mastering Google Search Operator and Commands, a comprehensive guide. Now I have two pages for a same content, which is not the right way. So Google will treat one page as a thin content, and that is where in your search console you will see page is crawled, however it is not indexed. So see over here, duplicate, Google choose different canonical than user, and that will be reflected in your search console. So you need to understand that thin content is something Google won't like it, as it will increase their crawl budget and this will increase their cost. Screaming Frog also provides that duplicate content error. So you can see in the bottom they have the duplicate details. It will be based on the duplicate content that is being provided in the website. So Screaming Frog may not be able to identify exact duplicate content, but yeah, it's something Search Console, Screaming Frog and the Ahref data will help you out. So in Ahref, if you click on view all the issues, you will see internal links, indexability, links it has given you, redirect, content wise it has given, and see duplicates. So duplicates pages without canonical. So you will get to know, okay, there are pages which are duplicate and there are no canonicals. Canonicals means we haven't redirected it to the right page, so they are duplicate. So if you see, I have a domain age.html page. Now what Ahref is saying, that number of pages having the same content is 3. So if you click on that, it will say these 3 pages are having a duplicate. Now I don't know how they are duplicate, they are separate pages, but yeah, it is saying, so I have to investigate it and I have to check it why it is treating it as a exact duplicate. It might be that the content is same for both the pages, because it's a kind of a tool that we have created, and that is what the content I have to rewrite it. Another bit about duplicate content is, now see, the website I have is deepavaliseotips.com. now you will see this website has a www.deepavaliseotips.com. okay, now if I put in the website URL as https://deepavali.com. so if I put in without www dot, see what will happen. Now it has opened the website, but if you see, the URL has been redirected. So it is not opening deepavaliseotips.com, it is opening www dot. So you need to make sure, and you should not have other variances of your website URL. There might be a situation where you might have installed without www dot, and then if you're trying to migrate it to some other platform or some other hosting platform, then you might use www dot. Then you must make sure that you are redirecting it, otherwise it will impact your overall website performance, and it has happened for 1 or 2 of the websites as well. So you have to be very careful, whatever you set it up, make sure you follow that path, because your Google Search Console, everything will be set up on that domain name. Now the 5th point around technical SEO is whether your site is secure. There are multiple niches for a website. So say if you have created an e-commerce website, or you have created a blogging website, or a portfolio website, or a affiliate marketing website, or n number of websites you can create it, okay, for an organization, etc. But now it should be secured. So if you see on the top, say search.google only, you will see this log button. It means the connection is secure. Now Google has added HTTPS as a default parameter for any search ranking algorithm. So anything you search in Google, you will see this log. You will see most of URLs are secure, because if you have a HTTP URL, so HTTP is not secured, and if you have HTTPS, it is secured. How to check what Google knows about your URL is, go to Search Console, you will see HTTPS button now, and say Google has not found any URL which is non-HTTPS for my website. If you see anything which has HTTP, make sure the URL are looked into it and they are redirected. Please be careful that what I am trying to say is that if your main domain is having a lock, it doesn't mean that your URLs, other pages may be always HTTPS. There will be some content which might have HTTP created by any plugin, etc. Those are also something which Google reads it, and if you have indexed them, and may say that okay, they are not having the secure protocol, which might impact your overall website ranking. So make sure to check this HTTPS in the Google Search Console, and you can also check in Screaming Frog, so as well as you can check in Ahrefs. HTTPS, HTTP mixed content. Okay, so see, Ahref is saying that they have found something which has a mixed content. So if you see, the linked image is having an HTTP, however it has been redirected. Okay, but why it is not being displayed in Google Search Console is because it is not indexed. Okay, so Google Search Console gets indexed, so it won't impact anything as of now. But yeah, these tools can help you in getting those data easily. So see, it is reducing, but yeah, there are things which I have to change. Now 6th important point around technical SEO is make your URL structure very simple. Now what is a URL structure? URL structure is this. If you see on the top, deepavaliseotips.com/ question mark S. So this is a search URL structure. Now if I click on say how to use Google Trends, so just to make sure you are aware, Google search trend is a very powerful tool for by which you can find new content. And if you don't know how to use Google search trends, then I have put a full course around Google search trend, and you can find the video on the I button, as well as you can check out my channel, as I have created such informative content for you all. Also, if you have watched the video till here, then please do press the like button. Okay, coming back to the URL. So if you see the URL, how to use Google Trend to improve SEO. So this is one kind of URL. But if you see the Ahref URL, so what it is, so Google won't understand what it is. It means it's a tool, but those URLs should not be created for a website as a blogging or anything. If you're creating a e-commerce, then your depth of the URL should not be more than 3 layers. So by 3 layers, what I mean, layer 1 is my main domain, layer 2 is my category, and layer 3 will be my product page or a blog page, etc. Layer 3 has a subcategory, and then layer 4, that is also okay, but don't create subcategory till layer 5, and it is recommended to go till layer 3 only from a structure perspective of your website. Point number 7 is to ensure you have a right XML sitemap. Now if you're not aware how to create your sitemap, then you can check out our website Deepavali SEO Tips, where we have provided the step-by-step guide how you can create your sitemap both in Blogger and WordPress, and it is very easy, and it is required as well from a technical SEO perspective. Now coming back to what is sitemap and why it is required, it's a kind of a map. So any house will have an architectural map, any roads have an architectural map, every system has their own map. Now for your website, as an owner, Google need to know how is your site map, how is your website map. So that is what basically sitemap is. So it's a normal English term which gives the map to the Google. How to create it is mentioned in this post, but from a technical SEO perspective, you need to make sure that sitemap is with Google to read it. How you can check it whether Google knows it? Again, Google Search Console, go to sitemap. In sitemap, you will see whatever sitemaps you have created it, you can submit it, and then Google will say how many pages it has discovered. So in my case, I have 151 pages which has to be discovered, pages, post, web stories. Now these URLs you can check it for other websites as well. What you have to do is all the websites URL, put the main domain, say deepavaliseotips.com. So sitemap underscore index.html. So you will see this is the sitemap, and Google can read it. That you will know from this data. So when did Google last read? So I'm recording the video on 9th December. Google has read last time on 8th December. So that is good that Google is reading the sitemap. Now few tips around what an optimized sitemap would do for your website is that means ideally you should not have more than 200 URLs per map. So now what I mean by map, so I have a post page. Now in this post page, if you click on it, you will see there are 127 URLs. So it is mentioned that if you should have only 200 URLs. Now you don't have to worry much about it if you are in a WordPress platform, as Rank Math and SEO plugin will automatically make it 200 pages, and you don't have to customize anything. In total, there should not be more than 50,000 URLs, okay, in sitemap. So more than 50,000 URLs if you have, you should have multiple sitemaps to maximize your crawl budget. So that is something you have to keep in mind. Means if you have 50,000 URLs, you would already know how to do it. Some of the things you need to exclude in the sitemap is the parameters. So by means URL parameters, by mean the search. So if I have to search anything, that comes as a parameter. So if I search say something like the ABCDEFGH, this is a search. So this should not be in the sitemap. Then URLs which are redirected. So if you have put in 301 redirection, those URLs should not be present in the sitemap. Google will already know earlier when you have put in 301 redirects. So you should put the one which is the available URL. Then URLs with the 400 codes, 4xx, basically 404, etc. should not be there in the sitemap. 500 like not found or server error should not be present in your sitemap. And then any duplicate content. So if you have 2 duplicate contents, you should avoid those URLs from the sitemaps, even though if you have not redirected it correctly or put a canonical tag, you should make sure they are not present in the sitemap. Now point number 8 is robots.txt. Now what is robot.txt? Basically robot.txt is a file which gives instructions to Google on how to crawl your website. So if I see the robot.txt of Deepavali SEO tips, so you have to put in Deepavali SEO tips, your website name .com/robots.txt. Okay. Now see, it is saying disallow WP admin. So I'm saying to Google that do not crawl this URL. So what if I've said that /WP-admin, it means that anything coming under it as well will also be not crawled. Now I have said that to allow admin-ajax.php within WP admin. So see, I have said that to not crawl this one, but I have allowed one of the sub URL within that. And that is a default setting of a WordPress, as Ajax files are required to read some of the JavaScripts, etc. But yeah, you don't have to worry about what it is. It is a default created by your plugins. You in your rank math plugin, it will be automatically created, so you don't have to worry much about it. But yeah, ideally you should put a sitemap as well in your robots.txt file, and you should make sure if there is a lot of crawling happening through robots. So these Ahref, SEMrush, and this SimilarWeb, all those tools, what they do is they do crawl your website regularly. Now, if they crawl it a lot, your server might be impacted. Now, to avoid that impact to a server, you might disallow them in the robots.txt file. Now, the classic example what I have searched on a complex robot.txt file is around Shout Me Loud. So I hope you know shoutmeloud.com. Now you see they have disallowed lot of things, they have disallowed a lot of robots. So see, what it has done is it has disallowed SEMrush bots, it has disallowed. Now Harsha Agrawal do promote SEMrush a lot, but he has disallowed SEMrush for some of the things, so that is good. And he has disallowed Ahref bots. So a lot of things. If you see, this is a kind of a robot.txt that can look like. So your robot.txt might look like what we have created for, it's a default one. But if you know what is happening to your website, you might block things which is not required. This is the whole purpose of robot.txt. Again, to check whether Google can read your robot.txt, you have to go to your search console. Now you have to go to your settings. In settings, you can go to crawling, and in the crawling, you will see your robot.txt file now. So this is a newly added feature in the Google Search Console. And you can see the status is fetched. So Google can read your robot.txt. Ninth key point around technical SEO is schema. So you must have heard about a lot of schemas. Like, so if you go to Google and say search how to make a chicken curry, then you will see there is a section of recipes. Now in recipes, you will see star ratings, time, everything. So how this is being created? This is being created using a schema. Now these schemas you can put in using a rank math plugin, for which you can use those schema types. So it might be available in a free version or a paid version. Based on the requirements, you can use your schema type, and it will pick that schema and it will understand and it will display it. So schemas are required from a technical SEO perspective, as it helps Google to understand your content easily. Now, how you can check what is your structure? You can go to this URL developer.google.com/search. Over here, so URL you can find it in our website in the article which I am sharing it. So technical SEO for beginners, there the URL will be present. Now what you need to do is you can do a validation. So if you see, Google recommends that you start with rich results schema to see what Google rich result can be generated for your change page. Then for generic schema, use this. So for generic, you use schema markup validator. Schema markup validator will say, okay, what is Google that can read around it, and then from a rich result perspective, Google will give you the result. So if I have to test it, my post, what it is showing, so it's an article, okay, so it won't give much, it won't say it's recipe related or say business related or organization related or people related, but it's a good tool, and you should use it if you are looking to get that featured snippet in your website. So see, it has said that 2 valid items found, so it's an article, so non-critical, 1 valid item detected, so Google knows it has its article and it can read it in the right way. So for me, that is the only thing that I would require. But yeah, in your case, whatever business or whatever things you're doing, you can test it out. Now I have explained everything around technical SEO, whatever I am aware, and if you see Ahref and Screaming Frog tool, all those aspects are broken down into technical SEOs. This, you should not get confused with the off-page and on-page SEO. It's more mainly technical SEOs and technical errors that comes in your website, mainly related to the crawling, mainly related to the indexing, mainly related to the core web vitals and your schema and all those bits you do for a website to rank. And these all are important points you need to make sure you regularly check your website to make sure your rankings are consistent or it is improving. Most of the errors that happens due to say core web vitals can be fixed through your web hosting, and you can choose a web hosting based on the requirements. You can check the website where we have provided best hosting deals as well, and those hosting deals can help you out in identifying the right web hosting. And then the second aspect is around how your structure of the website is, so you need to make sure how your structure is configured correctly. And then third are around the uh, basic files like robot.txt sitemap. So these 2 or 3 aspects are required. So if you broadly divide your technical SEO structure, it would be linking to these 3 aspects only, and you can easily then fix it. So I hope this video would be useful to you all, and I hope this will help you in improving your SEO rankings. If you have watched the video till here, then I am Gagan Agarwal. I have been doing blogging for past 10 years. And if you have liked the video, then do subscribe the channel as well, as it helps me in creating such good content for you all. Thank you very much. Bye.